Okay, Anne, we've popped to see you today because we know that you're aware of Hull City Council pulling the funding from the dial-a-ride system.
I know, that's so disappointing.
Yeah, and we just came to see what your thoughts were on it and what sort of impact it's going to have on your everyday life.
Oh, a lot of impact. A lot. Because for a start, there are things I go to, church, right, friendship clubs and things like that. It's only like once a week sometimes, and then one I go to is closed down for the summer. Well, I can't get there. Well, I can in a taxi, but you're so afraid because on the bus you're looked after. The minute they come to the door, you know that you're going to be all right.
Yes. And
they see you into wherever you're going. And when you ask them to come back for you, you're sure they're going to be back for you. Not a taxi where they've got it wrong or something. You can depend on them so much, and they care so much for your safety and your comfort.
Yeah. And
to me, £5 return is nothing to what it offers us in our lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, you've got that peace of mind, haven't you?
Definitely, definitely.
Because there's so few drivers, I suppose you've got that bond with each one as well, whereas a taxi, you don't know from one journey to the next who's picking you up.
Well, apart from that, some of the taxi drivers come and they lean over and undo the door from the driving seat and they leave you to get in, and we don't always know. And I've lost my sight in one eye, so I can't see very well.
So you need that assistance.
Yeah, but all these drivers, they don't know my eyes aren't bad and they are good, but they just care. Yes. And that's the difference.
Yes, so it's a company worth saving and investing
in.
in.
Definitely. Definitely worth saving. I think we need it.
Yes.
We do, really.
Yeah, I know we have school contracts, and a lot of the parents are worried because the children with special needs don't like change, and obviously they have the same driver each day, and they're facing the consequence of the company due to the funding not operating anymore. Therefore the children are going to be different service to get to and from school, and it's going to have an impact on them as well, you know. And West Hull Community Transport are more like a little family. So
it is like a family.
It is, yeah.
It is definitely.
And we sort of try and give that personal touch to each person, so that when they ring up, they get the same person each time, and they get to know each person.
And they try, as you usually do, to fit you in if they possibly can.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're very busy, but you always seem to be able to fit us in.
Yes, we can juggle things around, you see, whereas a taxi service, they can either take you or they can't. There's no leeway as to whether they can try and move something around or not. So they offer appointments as well. They can take you to appointments as well, can't they?
Yes. I think it's really excellent.
Yeah, I know the ordinary buses, that they've got accessible buses now for people that are struggling to get on and off a bus because the floor's lower, but obviously the drivers there can't help you with your shopping, or you know, and then there's the distance from the bus stop to your house, and if the weather's bad as well, there's the consequence that that's going to have if you were to rely on a public transport service.
I couldn't rely on them. Apart from anything else, you're not sure about getting off, whether the driver's got you in view and you know you're all right. You could still be waiting there to come off, haven't you?
And then of course there's the standing if they're running late through no fault of their own, but you know, if the weather's bad, you're standing around in the cold and the elements, you know.
Oh no, I think there's just no comparison. None at all. It just upsets me to think about the whole thing.
Yes.
It spoiled it all, really.
And it's upset a lot of the drivers, and not even so much as obviously everyone wants a job, but because they've got that connection with each of the customers and each of the children that they transport, you know, and everybody seems to be more concerned as to what our customers are going to do if the service doesn't exist.
That's it.
You know, so we're trying to do what we can, and we're trying to sort out a petition and get signatures, and, you know, try and explain.
Well, as you know, my feet and legs have been bandaged, and I couldn't get shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got old slippers on. Now, I was taken on one of your buses in that state. They were good, because it's dangerous if you can't walk properly.
Yes.
But they made sure that I was all right to get on the bus and get off. Whereas in the taxi, I was getting out of a taxi the other day, and I said, "Oh, my shoes come off." And he says, "Oh."
No personal touch there, is there?
None at
no
all.
concern as to, you know, let me jump out and try and help you or anything.
None at all.
And that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much, Anne. Thank you for your input.
It's a pleasure. I hope it's
we'll
not pain in
it.
the neck.
It's certainly not. As I say, we need to speak to a lot of our customers that are going to struggle and make sure that the relevant people see it and appreciate the impact it's going to have.
Yeah. You need Christine on that, because she just was so amazed. The way I got to hear about this, really, I was in the hospital at Hull Royal, and I'd had 2 little strokes. Didn't know I had them, and when I was leaving, the girl said, "Are you getting a lift?" I said, "Oh yes." Luckily my grandson's home at the moment. But I said, other than that, I would have had to get a taxi. So she said, "Have you heard of Dial a Ride? I'll give you the number." And I went on from there 5 years ago.
Yeah, you've introduced a lot of people for us as well that haven't known about the service and are now obviously appreciative of it.
Oh, I do. I think it's a wonderful service.
Well, thank you very much.
I do, really.